everyone! We are from the group The Boleyn.
Before that, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Yholanda Gistella.
I'm Gusnedi Alwi Chaniago.
I'm Nurhaida Simbolon.
And I'm Radit Alfansyah.
We will explain what the narrative text, what the generic structure, one example of a narrative text story, and the meaning of language feature from previous narrative text. So, have a good time watching!
Narrative text is the text tell the series of the events sequentially and the content that to its author. This type of the text has the imaginative nature or imaginary story that aims to entertain the readers. Narrative text is divided into the several types, such as the folklore, fable, legends, tales, romance stories, mystery stories, horror stories, adventure stories, and the historical stories.
To create a narrative text, a general structure of the text itself is needed. Following are some general structure of narrative text such as orientation, complication, resolution, reorientation, and coda. 1. Orientation. Orientation is the opening paragraph that introduces the story characters, atmosphere, or setting. 2. Complication. Complication is the problems that arise and develop in the middle of narrative text. 3. Resolution. Resolution is the part of the text that tells the resolution of the problem. 4. Reorientation. Reorientation is the part that will review that entire text. And 5. Coda. Coda is message related to a story.
The story that we will present comes from the film The Other Boleyn Girl, which was inspired by the story of the English kingdom at the beginning of the 16th century. Orientation. This story was taken from 1500 to 1536. One day, there lived 3 children who were playing in a field where they were from the Boleyn family, whose names were Mary Boleyn, Anne Boleyn, and George Boleyn. They are the children of Elizabeth Howard and the husband Thomas Boleyn. On the other hand, Henry's wife, who was ruling the British kingdom at the time, Catherine of Aragon, was giving birth to her unpaid child, and unfortunately, the child had a miscarriage, and the only one who was still alive at that time was her daughter, Mary Tudor. Because of this, Queen Catherine of Aragon felt suffering in her life because she lost her child and caused him to suffer from illness. She used to have a beautiful face, but later became an old woman full of wrinkles.
Complication. Yes, passage through. Actually, the 3 children of the Boleyn family were already teenagers on the other hand. King Harry wanted a mother had to constitute his position and also wanted a young body to satisfy him. The Duke of the King really instructed the king with even said this to Thomas Boleyn.
too much is Dr. Annie Boleyn as the king's whip. If Annie could give birth to male offspring with the king, then the Boleyn family would become a noble family. Annie was willing to serve the king, and the king was amused to see her to carry out their plan. They went horseback riding after to win the favor of the king. But the king had an agent, so as a result of this activity, King Henry was induced and Annie Boleyn was the opportunity to become his wife. Thomas Boleyn the third, his second Dr. Mary Boleyn, to go God and the King Harry was. King Harry saw the presence of a beautiful girl and he began to be fascinated by her and began his action in order to get married. He gave Mary husband William Parry and position at the palace. Her husband, who was happy, angered the important thing was that she had to step and marry initially also doctor for the sake of her family, but because she received word from the king, the mallet Annie was very shocked and she blamed everything on Mary. Annie asked Big Dick to go far away to France.
Time passed very quickly and finally Mary became pregnant. If she is pregnant, Mary cannot be by a man's side. But she also cannot endure such a situation. Then Thomas Boleyn told Anne to go home and meet the king. The Annie this time is not the Annie she used to be. This time she not only wanted to usurp King Henry but also the position of queen. After Mary gave birth, Mary felt that the king was increasingly distancing herself from her. Even though Mary had given the king a son, the child could not be the successor to the throne because he was an illegitimate child. Anne felt that Mary was just jealous of her. She did not even hear it and then started her plan to usurp the king and become queen. Anne continually refused the king's request, pretending to be cold.
Resolution. Anne was in the front of the Mary room and waited for the king to talk to her. Anne said, "I will agree to marry you if you want me with the Mary and other woman is the future." And the king immediately agreed. Mary and her newborn child were taken home, while the Anne met secretly with the king every day and even told the king to devour queen. Catherine of the Aragon. The king granted an request. The then is the incident on the Virgos changing the rules and the law so that he called the Mary Ann. Third plain with the smooth and the Mary Ann become queen. Until out of 4 moments later, and the becomes pregnant in the ward she give the birth to is the boy. Then the person will not be repeated, but good to say otherwise. Anne give the birth to add the daughter. Not this, the king was his nobler instant in him. Outside, Anne was a King Henry, opposing other woman named Janet Seymour.
Then Anne had a miscarriage of her second child, so she lost her baby. The king no longer wanted to have contact with Anne, so Anne wanted to use her younger brother, George Boleyn, to have intimate relation so that the king would not find out that her child had miscarried. George couldn't understand his sister's ideas. Then he rejected it and did not quit. This was witnessed by George's wife, Jane Boleyn, and she immediately reported it to the government. Because of this accusation, George was beheaded and received a more painful punishment. Namely, her beheading was announced by her uncle Thomas Howard, who ordered her to approach the king. Now, Anne has no relationship with the king. When Mary arrived from her hometown, she found out that George had died and Mary also witnessed and being beheaded. Reorientation. Previously there were 3 of them, now only Mary is left alone. Mary, who was very sad, took Anne's daughter back to her hometown to live a peaceful life. This story ends here, where the life of Mary Boleyn and her husband William Carey was very happy with Elizabeth. Elizabeth was the daughter of Anne Boleyn, who would later become Queen of England. One thing is known that during King Henry's life, he did not have a son. But it was her daughter who became queen in the future. Under the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, it is often called the Golden Age.
Hoda, the moral lessons we can get from this story is don't be greedy, because karma will come to us all. Thank you.
Next, there are several examples of language features found in previous narrative texts. First, action verb. Action verb is a sentence that has a verb and describes someone activity, such as one day there lived 3 children who were playing in a field. Second, reporting verb infinitive. Reporting verb infinitive are verbs used to report or show the other point of view, such as Thomas Boleyn then told his second daughter Mary Boleyn to go guard and treat King Henry's wounds. 3. Simple past tense. Simple past tense is a type of sentence used to tell about events that happened in the past, such as Catherine of Aragon was giving birth to her unborn child, and unfortunately, the child had a miscarriage.
What Spencer what Spencer what are a series of words. The function to provide information about the occurrence of an event in Spencer, such as one day. It endeavor is the use of a verb to explain the verb itself. Time passed very usefully.
That's all our explanation. Sorry if there are any mistakes, and thank you for watching.